lies, lies, and more lies headed in your direction via the progressive highway. Warning, there might be traffic.
We've got to cut through the noise.
Let me know what you think about the liberal media in general. Do you believe them? Do you end a segment of Anderson Cooper or Chris Cuomo or Don Lemon? Do you finish watching them feeling like you got the entire truth? Do you finish watching opinion shows feeling like you ate an entire piece of the cake? Or are you left wanting more? Chris Cuomo recently put out another edition of Chris Cuomo in his basement. Still doing primetime television for some reason. And we're going to get into that, trust me. But before we talk about that, don't forget to subscribe. And on top of that, ring the bell. Make the ding. Do the ding. Get on the Noti Squad. Turn notifications on. If you don't do that, you'll never see my face again. And if you don't want to see my face again, then just stay put. How about that? I'm gonna break down several clips from Chris Cuomo saying Orange Man bad over and over and over again. But before I do that, I'm gonna play a good sized chunk of the clip just to show Chris what an utter buffoon, hypocrite he really is.
Numbers are nothing out of context. 1,736. What does that number mean to you? It'll now mean, at least for this day, the most deaths that we've suffered in a single day so far. So why is that event a basis for our leaders to say that's a good sign? Is it fair to say that this is the most deaths that we will see on any day? Why or why not? The last thing anybody needs is more BS. I know, I hear you.
The last thing anybody needs. That's the last thing, and he's right. He is right. What would be even worse than saying, and Chris starts off this segment by saying, context matters. And he ends this little clip, that little clip I just played, he ends it by saying, we don't need any more games. Stop playing games. That'll be important in a second. Let's keep watching.
The last thing anybody needs is more BS. I know, I hear you. You're reaching out to me from all over the country. You have just one request, that all the games end. You've always seen through them. And you tell me the only thing more sickening to you and this collective than the virus is being lied to about what's going on. I know.
Okay. First off, quick observation. Who is writing into Chris Cuomo? One of the most opinionated TV personalities who has one of the most opinionated shows on TV regarding politics. Who is writing to him saying no more games? Who's doing that? I seriously, who's writing into CNN saying we've seen through you this whole time? Maybe plot twist, maybe Chris. Maybe everybody was not directing that towards Trump. They might have been directing that towards you. Maybe everybody is sick of your games. Sick of the way that you twist things. Let's keep watching.
Stop ignoring the facts for political advantage. Get real. The past is over. There can be no more letting politics reinforce our worst instincts. We need to build on our best instincts. And that said, while I'm asking you all to do that, The man at the top
There it is.
refuses to change.
There it is. Orange man bad. Orange man terrible. He refuses to change. Notice what he said at the beginning of that clip.
Stop ignoring the facts for political advantage.
Stop ignoring the facts for political advantage. In other words, stop making things seem like they're not. You want to talk about context, Chris? You want to talk about context? In the very next seconds, literally 30 seconds after saying context matters, he takes the president out of context. Check out this clip
He said
that he
within a
showed.
couple of days, the cases will be down to 0.
Well, the cases really didn't build up for a while, but you have to understand, I'm a cheerleader for this country. I don't want to create havoc and shock and everything else. I'm not going to go out and start
Did you see
screaming,
it?
this could happen, this could happen.
Did you see it? Did you catch it? Just a little just a little cut in the video. They made it seem like he said this and then he said that. But what the president actually did is he described in that little cut that CNN made. By the way, whenever CNN or any news media for that matter, whenever they cut someone off in the middle of a sentence and try to cover it up, you should be very, very suspicious. When I saw that, I wanted to know, okay, so what did the president say in between those two little snippets that Chris Cuomo doesn't want you to hear? Let's watch the original speech.
But you have to understand, I'm a cheerleader for this country. I don't want to create havoc and shock and everything else, but ultimately, when I was saying that, I'm also closing it down. I obviously was concerned about it because
There
I
it
closed
is.
down our country to China, which was heavily infected. I then closed it down to Europe. That's a big move, closing it down from China and then closing it down from Europe and then ultimately closing it down to the UK. So, and it was right about that time. But I'm not going to go out and start screaming, this could happen, this could happen.
So in Cuomo's version of the speech, Trump did nothing. He's not doing anything. He's ignoring the facts and he's just sitting there. While all of these people are dying, all of these people are getting sick, and he's doing nothing. But if you actually watch the speech in full, Trump says, here's what I did. I'm a cheerleader. I'm a cheerleader for this country. Here's what I did. On top of being a cheerleader. Here's the steps that I have taken. But what Cuomo and the majority of people on the left seem to not understand is the president actually doesn't want to spread mass fear and hysteria. Because unlike Chris Cuomo, Donald Trump actually has a tremendous influence on the general public. And if the president is being all hysterical and dramatic, basically acting like AOC on the floor of Congress, then it's going to make the majority of America go into massive panic. In the very next clip, after showing that, Cuomo goes into this rant of, you want to be a cheerleader? You're not doing anything, but that's exactly what a leader does. A leader needs to say, this is where we're headed. Only one problem with that. That's exactly what Trump is doing. April 5th, Trump warns Americans to brace for tough week. His administration came out and said, this coming week is probably going to be the toughest week. Notice one thing. He's not being dramatic. He's not putting on a Hollywood acting clinic. When Trump needs to be serious, and he needs to warn America of an actual danger that is coming, he does it. But one thing he does not do is spread fear and panic and hysteria when there isn't a need for it. Listen, Chris Cuomo. I'm genuinely, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you have coronavirus. Really am. I don't wish it on anybody. That's not the aim of any of this. But when you say context matters, and then 30 seconds later, literally, you take the president out of context just to spew your own opinions about him, makes you look like an idiot. It makes you look really unintelligent. That's the show for today. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe if you want to. And I will catch you next time. Congratulations. You've reached the end of the video. And now you have an option here or there. No, it's up to you. You go ahead and choose.